So I just wanted to get a quick recording session. I'm not using my mic, so the sound quality might be bad, but I didn't get last episode's analysis or anything out last week because I was working with a lot of issues with my computer, and now I will be able to fix them. I don't know why I sung that. I'm so sorry you had to hear that. So, without further ado, let's get into the season finale episode overview. Oh, wait, I recorded that, but then didn't realize that the whole reason I started the recording was to one, explain why I didn't put out the agony of a witch overview and analysis, and two, tell you guys what my thoughts are for what this episode is going to be like. So, I think the episode is primarily going to be focused on rescuing Ida. I don't think we're going to get much Lumity in this episode, and I'm completely okay with that. I did see a promo photo of Lilith, the first petrification in like 30 years. Very scared for that. That worries me. Other than that, I don't have too many thoughts. I would have explained all of my predictions in the previous video, but as I stated before, I had technical difficulties and wasn't able to make the video in time. So that's that. Uh, that was it. Okay. Now let's get into episode overview. The episode opens with an in-depth, uncut history from King about how the Emperor came to power. After King finishes his story, Luz explains that she was going to rescue Ida that day. The show then cuts back to the Emperor's castle, where Ida is still in beast form and Lilith is struggling to keep her under control. When the Emperor comes in and partially changes Ida back into a human so that she can retain consciousness, the Emperor reveals that he doesn't want to hurt Luz for now, and that he just wants the portal she came through. Ida responds saying she won't tell him anything. The Emperor then says that he can just ask Luz himself, and snaps to signal the Emperor's coven members to drag Ida off. Ida begs Lilith to protect Luz as she is being dragged off. After Ida has left the room, Lilith asks the Emperor if she was being taken to the healing ceremony. You stupid! He then responds that he won't be healing Ida. Lilith then says, "But you promised me." The Emperor then responds that it's the Titan's will, saying that all wild witches must be dealt with before the Day of Unity. He asks her if she understands, and she replies, "Of course." Like, seriously, how stupid could you be to not see that he's making this stuff? You can't fudging cuss because your mom might find your public YouTube channel and then you're gonna get in trouble. That's very unfortunate for me though because I cuss like a sailor. And also I'm talking about a children's show and probably shouldn't be cussing while I'm talking about a children's show. Yeah. Up as he goes along. And that he's basically a cult leader that somehow got the whole population of the Isles, except for a few people, to believe all the bullcrap that he says. He then says to destroy Ida's staff because she won't be needing it anymore. So help me God, if she touches Albert, I will jump through that TV screen and... As you can probably tell, I am writing this episode overview as I'm watching the episode, so I don't know what's gonna happen, and that's why there's a lot of raw emotions. Now we cut back to Bonesboro with Luz, and it shows a group of people gathered around a bunch of crystal balls where a news reporter announces that Ida has been captured by the Emperor and will be petrified in stone for her crimes. The show then lets us see Willow, Gus, and Amity's reactions to the situation. Willow and Gus decide to do something about it, while Amity just kind of gasps in shock. Next, we see Luz expressing her disdain for Lilith. But honestly, same. King tells her to calm down and that they have to focus on saving Ida first. Luz and King step on grass that had a "do not step on grass" sign in order to be sent to the conformatorium where Ida would be petrified. When Luz arrives, Warden Rath says something But then Luz busts out of that little cart thing and goes, bow, bow, bow. Next thing you know, the Emperor is drawing her a map to where Ida is. Willow and Gus know Luz is going to be there to save Ida and plan on being there in case someone needs to save Luz. So they split up and try to find her. Next, we cut to Kikimora reprimanding the warden for losing Luz and drawing her a map. Lilith then says that she will capture Luz. Why do I get the slightest inkling that she's not gonna do that? Anyways, the show cuts back to Luz and shows that she's beaten up about 5 more prison guards. Luz busts into the room where Owl Beast Ida is being held, but she's lost consciousness and reverted to full Owl Beast form. Luz casts a light spell that helps Ida regain consciousness. Ida and Luz go back and forth about whose fault it was that she was there. Ida then goes in to say it's her fault for not obeying the law, and tells Luz that she doesn't regret anything because she lived freely and was able to meet Luz. Then she tells Luz to leave because she won't be able to protect her. Luz tells her that they're a family and that weirdos have to stick together. Ida opens the portal to the human world and tells Luz to go back. Ida then tells Luz to destroy the portal because they can't take any chances with Belos. Luz tells Ida that she loves her, and Ida says, I love you too, kiddo. Ida is then lifted up to where she will be petrified and tells Luz goodbye. I know I use the same line twice, but it's just so sad. Luz sits in front of the portal door crying when Lilith walks in. Luz, however, really wants to beat Lilith's ass. I still can't cuss. So Lilith and Luz start fighting, but Lilith says she just wants to talk. And then King, Lilith, and Luz fall through the human portal in all the commotion, and it appears that Luz's magic doesn't work in the human world. Then Lilith asks Luz to listen to her, to which Luz responds that it's her who should be in Ida's place. And then Lilith agrees. Luz asks Lilith why she did it, to which Lilith responds by going into a bit of backstory. She explains that they were the best of friends when they were younger, to which I responded, oh, baby Ida. I'm not even joking when I say I would die for her. Anyways, let me get back to the story. Being in the Emperor's Coven was Lilith's dream, and Ida wanted to be there with her. But the only problem was there was only one spot in the Emperor's Coven, so Ida and Lilith would have to duel for that spot. But Lilith knew Ida would beat her. Lilith found a spell that would take away Ida's powers and thought that the spell would only work for a day. But on the day of the battle, Ida refused to battle her sister and said covens weren't her style. But as she walked away, she turned into the Owl Beast. I still want to fight Lilith because she let her own ambition get in the way of her bond with her sister. Lilith pursued Ida because the Emperor told her if Ida joined the coven, he would heal her curse. But he lied. So now she wants to help Ida. Luz was hesitant to trust her at first, but then Lilith gives her Owlbert and Ida's staff. I only want to fight Lilith 50% less now. After this, they return to the Isles where the petrification was about to begin. Lilith brings Luz to a platform that will send her to Ida. Luz asks Lilith what she will do after this, to which she replies that she will stay in the Emperor's Coven, but make sure nothing like this ever happens again. After she says this, Luz points out that it's weird for no guards to be around the platform. Then all of a sudden, Lilith and King are grabbed by this weird goopy thing, and the Emperor appears. Lilith and King get thrown into the same cell as Ida, and Ida tries to tear Lilith apart when King jumps in front of her and tells Ida what Lilith did. The people of Burnsboro, who were watching the petrification, decide that Ida has done nothing worthy of a petrification and revolt at the ceremony. While this is going on, the Emperor and Luz fight. Luz uses an ice spell that cracks the Emperor's mask. He turns around and we see a glowing blue eye. Like the Emperor really said. He then tells Luz he likes her spirit, but if she tries that again, things won't end well for her. He says stuff about the Titan's will not being to invade the human realm, and that if she wants to save Ida, she has to give him the portal. Luz gives him the portal, and the Emperor lets her go on the platform where Ida will be petrified to save her. But Luz tells the Emperor as she's being raised on the platform, she may have lost, but so has he, and destroys the portal as she's being lifted onto the platform. Once on the platform, she destroys the petrification device, but it's too late. Ida's already been zapped, but it looks like the spell wasn't completed, so Lilith tries to save her. Luz threatens Kikimora to get her to free them, and the spell wears off of Ida. As the Emperor's Coven members surround Ida, King, Lilith, and Luz, King, Lilith, and Luz get on Ida's back and she flies away. As she does, the crowd cheers. Emperor Belos comes up on the platform and spews some garbage about the Titan telling him to spare the Owl Lady's life, but that her curse will strip her of her magic. He then says, let her monstrous form be a lesson about the dangers of wild magic. After Ida flies back to the Owl House, she collapses, but it looks like Lilith made them share the curse, so its effects are dampened. But Ida can't do magic, so it looks like Lilith can't do magic as well. So Luz says, it's okay, I can teach you what I know, and what we don't know we can learn together. Next we see Luz in the Owl House recording a video to be sent to her mom. Lastly, she says something in Spanish. Next we cut to Kikimora telling Emperor Belos that he should allow her to arrest the inhabitants of the Owl House. He tells her not to worry and sends someone to watch the Owl House. He then says, besides, we have work to do, and that the Day of Unity is approaching. The episode closes on some construction being done on the portal to the human world. Thank you for watching. You can check out part 2 to this video on my channel. I hope you'll consider liking and subscribing. This is Imperfect, signing off.